Hey guys, so hopefully you just watched the kind of overview of the project. If you haven't, you may want to backtrack before you watch this video and get into the studio. Um, I am going to click on modules and go to navigate to where our studios are. So we're going to start here with what a studio is before we get started. So kind of, read over this and make sure you don't have any questions or anything. These are sort of in a normal like face-to-face setting. The studio would be the online component. We're all online. So what I kind of use the studio for is still not that different. They're still typically longer activities that correspond with things that we're working on in class that you can kind of do, independently to help push along your project or your portfolio, things that we're doing, stuff that I wouldn't normally assign as like an hour or two activity that we would have do like, on a Wednesday or a Sunday, but something that you might need a little bit more time with. And the fact that this studio is in addition to the class is part of what makes this class more of your kind of like time consuming classes because it's writing and research, plus there's this extra component. So you kind of read through this. This is part of your course engagement grade. So again, I'll go, to that. Sometimes I may have asked you to submit studio components on Canvas. If not, I'll tell you to put them in your writing folder, in which case you have a subfolder for studio work. Everything else is under your daily work. And then you have studio, well, so far. And then you have your studio work. Everything will just go in there and you don't have to submit anything unless it's an assignment that I ask you to submit something. But there'll always be like directions and things for that. Couple of things. Oh, I want to hit a couple of these little tips. Leave enough time to do it. These do often take longer than your regular work, so make sure that you're reading directions carefully and prompts carefully. Sometimes they are multifaceted, and a lot of times there might be something to submit at the end of a module. One of the things that people, and I'm actually going to go back to the home page, one of the things that people will really get confused about is when you are, and this isn't just for studio work, this is for other work too, when you're relying on, I'm going to switch into student view here and kind of, so you can see this, is when you're relying on this to-do list, because some of these, like, and this might be an assignment that's due at the end of a module. So if you just click here, it'll take you to that activity. But there might be these other parts of the activity that came before it. So it's always better not to just rely on this. Like, use this as a guide, obviously, if you know you have something due. But then go to your modules and see if there are other activities included. So it's sort of a little tip there. So I'm gonna go first to the studio and to Studio 1. The goal here is going to be to take your first like dive into figuring out what your topic might be. You're not married to these ideas. You can still change your mind, but I do encourage people to, as much as possible, like really just don't wing it. I have a lot of people just like really find stuff quick and throw it in. Then it comes time to pick a topic and they're floored and they end up having to do more work starting over. For instance, if you do see a topic that you like in this studio, you can then use the articles and things that are included there that you've already read to continue to build on them. It actually saves you work the harder you start working on it earlier. So I do ask people to kind of take this seriously. The goal is to try to find a topic, and you're going to be sharing, some things with your classmates. This will be collaborative. You'll have an opportunity in this activity to share some ideas that you have, see some ideas other people have, respond, and kind of collaborate. So the first piece of this is really just to go read or watch and get some ideas. You're going to try to find two different texts, like things that are like things that are interesting to you. So two texts that are about issues and events happening now that could spawn some critical thought, discussion, some questioning for readers. It could be, a news article related to something going on in health. It could be also a documentary that's about like education. It doesn't have to be the same issue. It can be different things, but it should be something interesting to you that you think could possibly be a topic. You can kind of read or skim over these to get some ideas, but you want to choose 2 that you're going to share with peers. It's like, this is an interesting issue. This happened recently. Have you heard about this? So again, the goal, I'm going to read kind of over these. The goal is to find issues that are interesting enough to you that you could possibly choose one of them for your project. You can change your mind after this activity, and you're also going to see what other people are doing. There's no rule that says you can't like base your idea for your project off of something someone else posted, or that everybody has to have their own like unique topic. People even within the same issue can go in different directions, so there's no rule saying that you can't you know, get an idea from somebody else. It's collaboration, not cheating. Here's some places to get started that people tend to really like. Got kind of a spectrum of stuff here. TED Talks is always everyone's favorite because everyone loves TED Talks, but you can go to these places to look for some things. And then you are going to go to kind of a collaborative Padlet. I put sort of some, oh, I did not mean to do that. It's taking just a minute to load. I kind of put some topics here with this Padlet, and I'll explain this in a minute. But your goal is going to be to contribute 2 things to this Padlet, and I have some directions here. You know, click on the add button. You can click on somewhere in here. Oh, here, add. If you're logged in, which you should be, you know, it should have your name. You are going to put like where it says write something, this is where you are going to put your hook. You could put it in the title too, it doesn't really matter. This is a question. Oh, sorry, didn't type. A probative question, a quick summary, a quote, something that's going to catch people's attention to let them kind of know if they want to read the article or not. You can also, I'm actually going to say here, oh, again, I'm making all kinds of mistakes here. You could put like maybe the name of the topic or your name here. What you want to put here is the URL to the source or a place you could read about it. If it's like a Netflix documentary or something, you might have to give us a link to like the page to read about it. But then what it creates is a big note, like basically a big like sticky note board where people can go read about a bunch of different things and get a lot of ideas. I'm going to open this so you can see kind of the whole Padlet and how all the different topics work. Again, sorry, it's taking just a little minute to load here. While it's loading, oh wait, there it goes. So here's what your Padlet kind of looks like. I'm going to adjust my window here so you can see a little bit more. So I put some like really big like kind of topics here: education, health, social justice, technology, environment. I have some other columns, so you could actually, if you feel like you have something that doesn't fit or this just isn't specific enough, you can add a new column and fit where you want to. I kind of left some room. But if you feel like it fits under education, you can put some stuff here so people can really kind of bounce around and see what they want. So you're going to post 2 things here, and then you're going to reply to some other people. So you add attachment where it says write something. You're going to add your little hook. You're going to add a 2 to 3 sentence commentary that just explains why you picked it. So I have my article here. Down here, I'm going to write 2 to 3 sentences. I don't know why I just tried to write section. About why I picked it. So what I agreed or disagreed with, why this stood out to me, why I think this is so interesting. And then you're going to apply to at least 3 sources or peers, like those sources that are posted. 3 to 4 sentences. So I could do this, and I would go to maybe a peer down here, and this would be where I would put 3 to 4 sentences to a peer about their post. So you have the reason why, you have what you posted, the reason why you picked it, and then you're going to reply to some other people. So again, your response can be your opinion or reaction to the issue as a whole. It could be a to agree or disagree or ask a question about another peer's comment, so discussing with other people that have posted, or your reaction to something in the piece, something that maybe that you read that you thought was interesting when you opened up theirs, and that's kind of it. So you're going and reading about some different things, picking 2 things to contribute, making your contributions, and replying to 3 other people. This is going to be due by February 21st. So it's the Sunday kind of week after we come back from the break, so you have some time to work on it. We have a little bit more time to go over the project a little more before people start kind of diving in. So please let me know if you have any questions. Oh, sorry. So there won't be anything to submit in your studio folder, in your writing folder for this studio. Everything that you have is going to be on this Padlet, and I will search for your name on this Padlet to find your work. So please, it'll be kind of something like this. I'll show you how it works. I'm going to put Control Find, and I'm going to write my name in here, and I'm going to pop up and find me. So please make sure that you attach your name, because there's a lot of people and a lot of comments. And I'm not going to dig for hours and hours if you didn't put your name with your work. So please make sure that you put your name with the things that you post, because this is where I'm going to go to look for it. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Peace.